नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके शृण्मतां स्वकथां कृष्णं पुण्यश्रवणकीर्तनम् Let me first read the shloka. I'm just picking it out. One second. It's 4:12:28, right? Yes, Mataji. Maitreya Uvacha Shamya Vaikuntaniyojam Yayormadhu Achyutam Vacham Urukramatpriyat Kritabhisheka Kritanithyamangalo Munim Punyam Asinam Apyavadhayat. Maitreya Uvacha, the great sage Maitreya said, Nishamya, after hearing, Vaikunta, of the Lord, Niyojya, associates, Mukhyayoho, of the chief, Madhu Achyutam, like pouring honey, Vacham, speeches, Urukrama Priya, Dhruva Maharaj, who was very dear to the Lord, Krita Abhishekaha, took his sacred bath. Krita performed Nitya Mangala, his daily spiritual duties. Muni, to the great sages. Pranamya, having offered obeisances. Asisham, blessings. Abhyavadayat, accepted. Translation. The great sage Maitreya continued, Maharaj Dhruva was very dear to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. When he heard the sweet speeches of the Lord's chief associates in the Vaikunta planet, he immediately took his sacred bath, dressed himself with suitable ornaments, and performed his daily spiritual duties. Thereafter, he offered his respectful obeisances to the great sages present there and accepted their blessings. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. We should mark how dutiful Dhruva Maharaj was in his devotional service even at the time he left this material world. He was constantly alert in the performance of devotional duties. Every devotee should take his bath early in the morning and decorate his body with tilaka. In Kali Yuga, one can hardly acquire gold or jeweled ornaments, but the 12 tilaka marks on the body are sufficient as auspicious decorations to purify the body. Since Dhruva Maharaj was living at that time in Badrika Ashram, there were other great sages there. He did not become puffed up because the airplane sent by Lord Vishnu was waiting for him. As a humble Vaishnava, he accepted blessings from all the sages before riding on the plane brought by the chief of the Vaikunta associates. Has Prabhuji joined, Mataji? Please let me know when he comes. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadamtikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavanscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschayate Deshatharini Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gauravaktarinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thank you for this opportunity. So we see that in this particular purport, Srila Prabhupada speaks about uh, performing devotional service to the end of our life, taking devotional service as our heart and soul. So devotional service, it is said, should be performed without any break. It should be performed continuously and it should be performed for the pleasure of the Lord. So it is not something that we achieve. Devotional service is not something we perform for a while and there is a goal and we achieve it and we are done with it. So devotional service basically continues. It goes on and on till the end of our life. It is also the means, it is also the goal. And devotional service is a continuous process and it is happily performed. So there are many processes of self-realization of which devotional service is considered as the most effective and also the most easy process in one sense. Though on a day-to-day basis, it requires a lot of commitment. It is the most effective process in this age of Kali because in devotional process, we generally have this process of Shravanam Kirtanam, which is easily done because it is easily, one can easily chant. He just has a set of beads. He can sit anywhere and he can chant. And hearing the glories of the Lord is very easy. Once you get devotional association, it becomes very, very easy to hear from devotees and hear the glories of the Lord. And in today's world, with all the technology that we have, needless to say, this is Bhakti Sangha Japa conference where we are sitting in different parts of the world and we are able to easily perform Shravanam Kirtanam first thing in the morning. So, devotional service is something that is very, easily performed in this age of Kali by the mercy of our acharyas. And it is a process that is continuously performed till the end of our life, so it is never stopped. So we see in the case of Dhruva Maharaj that Dhruva Maharaj, he continuously performed devotional service right from the age of 5 when he knew who, when he heard this process from the mouth of his mother, when he was guided by Narada Muni, he took up this process and he sincerely performed it. He was so sincere and so determined and so focused in the process that he had taken up that he saw Krishna face to face really, really fast. So for a boy who was just the age of 5, this process, he had taken it up so sincerely and he performed it without a break as it was taught to him by Narada Muni. So not only that, as Dhruva Maharaj grew up, we see that he was a great king, and as a king, the responsibilities that one may have is unlimited. So just as a householder, most of us have so many responsibilities, and being a householder, we easily get distracted with so many things around us. In this age of Kali, there is no question of not getting distracted. There are, as we saw, there are unlimited opportunities to do Shravanam Kirtanam. Similarly, there are unlimited opportunities for us to get distracted in this age of Kali. So we can see Dhruva Maharaj, he was such a great king. He was not a simple householder like us. So as a king, just imagine the amount of distractions that one may have. It is not only the distractions, material distractions around him, but also power. When a person is in a very high authority, when he has a lot of power, there is no question of distraction that can happen in his mind because the ego becomes so puffed up. To perform devotional service, one must consistently have a humble demeanor. It is very difficult to perform consistent devotional service if one becomes proud. But we see in the case of Dhruva Maharaj, with so much authority, with such a great position, he never got diverted. His devotional service throughout his life continued steadily till the end of his life. And we also recently saw the chapter which described the pastime with Dhruva Maharaj fighting with the Yakshas. So we see even at that time, his mind as such, he was steadily trying to perform devotional service. Yes, he went and he fought with the Yakshas. He was trying to protect, as a Kshatriya, he was performing his duty to protect. But then when he was advised by his authorities, when he was advised by Manu, who came and gave him the right advice at the right time, Dhruva Maharaj was very, very receptive. He understood out of his humility the higher principle. So, not only that, and right after that, when he saw Kuvera, he was so firm in his devotion that he chose the right benediction from Kuvera. So he was steady all his life. And when the crucial moment of death comes, this is the time people actually, that this is actually considered as the final test. Death is considered as the final test. So you may be steady when you're doing devotional service, when everything around you is going nice, when you have all the comforts, when you have, good shelter, good food, everything around you is emotionally nice, everything is comfortable. Yes, devotional service can go on very nicely. But when one faces challenges, especially when one, incurs disease, when one is about to die, any kind of devotional practice actually, in one sense, becomes difficult to perform with our body. Because our body is the vehicle in which the soul is traveling. And when there are disturbances to the body, whatever basic sadhana that we are doing, we may suffer. It's a natural thing. But we see that even at the time of death, Dhruva, he had practiced devotional service so perfectly till the time of death that even during the time of death, he had the strength to sustain his devotional service and practice devotional service with the right consciousness even at this time. So we see that in this verse, when the when the vehicle from the Vaikuntha planet with the two chief associates of the Lord, Nanda and Sunanda, they had come to pick up Dhruva from this material world. Dhruva, when he saw this airplane and when he saw these two beautiful effulgent personalities, initially he was a little bewildered. He didn't understand anything. But then he realized that these two great personalities had come for him and his time was up and he was ready to go back to the spiritual world. So even at this time, we see that Dhruva was very focused. He went, he took his sacred bath, he dressed himself with ornaments, he performed his daily spiritual duties. So even at this time, he didn't think, okay, now I have perfected. Now I have perfected my life, and the proof is here. I see that the spiritual airplane has come here, and we've just come here to pick me up, and everything is fine, and I'm done. It's over. Mission accomplished. He didn't think like that. He continued to perform what he was performing, his regular spiritual duties, with a steady mind. So basically, sometimes in the Bhagavad Gita, also Krishna talks about this. He says that we tend to get very excited at times when there is a lot of happiness, or we tend to get very disturbed when the situation is not good. But we see that Dhruva, he was not only determined throughout his life, but he also had a steady mind. And this steady mind that Dhruva had, again, He acquired this only because of his practice of devotional service. So he was practicing devotional service from the beginning till he was old and he was ready to leave the planet, till he was, he had ruled the kingdom for so many thousands of years. All this while, his devotional service was so steady that his mind was actually steady during any kind of circumstance, be it extreme happiness or be it any dire situation like fighting with the yakshas. So we see how Dhruva, through the practice of devotional service from the beginning, had developed a very, very steady consciousness. So even when he saw the Vaikuntha airplane ready for him, and he was ready to depart, and he knew he was going to the Dhruva Loka, which is actually Vaikuntha, which is actually the spiritual world. Even at that time, Dhruva Maharaj, with a steady mind, he continued to perform his daily rituals. So he went, he saw them, yes, he went, he took a sacred bath, he dressed himself with ornaments, and he performed his daily spiritual duties. And not only that, at this point in time, Dhruva Maharaj was in Badrikashram. So we all know Badrikashram, the abode of Naranarayan Rishi, a very, very spiritual place. It is one of the most holy places on this planet Earth, and it is always decorated by the presence of sages. So when he was extremely humble, even at this time, Dhruva Maharaj, he was extremely humble. He didn't think, look, this airplane has come, this Vaikuntha airplane has come, and it has come for me. I'm so great. You sages, you're performing austerities and you're sitting here for so many years, but look, this airplane is especially for me. He didn't think like that. Rather, he went and he offered obeisances to all the sages who were present there, and then he was ready to board the airplane. So there is another thing that we learn from the story of Dhruva Maharaj, which is the humility. Not only did we see determination, not only did we see how focused he was and how steady he was, but also we see that he was extremely humble. He didn't think himself special because he was a great king and because he had perfected his life being such a great king. He was extremely humble. He knew his position very well. He went and he offered obeisances to all the sages who were there in Badrikashram, and then he became ready to board the airplane. So there is something else that Prabhupada talks about in this particular purport. Prabhupada also talks about decorating the body with tilaka. So Prabhupada says that in today's world, we may not have many ornaments like gold ornaments like it was present in the previous ages. In the previous ages, it was normal for people to decorate themselves nicely with gold ornaments and be very presentable. So in this time and age, even if we are not able to decorate our bodies so lavishly, of course, every Vaishnava must decorate himself with a tilak, uh, with Gopi Chandan in the 12 parts of his body. So this Gopi Chandan, as we all know, it is mixed with the dust that comes from the lotus feet of the gopis. It comes from, we basically mix this chandan with some dust that comes from the lotus feet of devotees, the gopis, and then we apply it on the 12 parts of our body. So by applying gopi chandan on the 12 parts of our body becomes sanctified, and our body becomes worshipable. It becomes a temple of the Lord. So our body itself becomes a temple, actually. Our body becomes a temple when we sanctify our body like this. And we all know that by saying the different mantras, actually, when we apply these 12 marks on our body, it becomes a kavacha in one sense. It gives you protection. So Srila Prabhupada would always say that two things, it is very important never to remove your kantimala, because your kantimala is a protection to the body. And the other thing is the gopi chandan. So these two things are extremely important for a Vaishnava. And we all know today that according to time, place, and circumstances, we also wear water tilak. Just because some people cannot wear tilak when they go out to work, so there is a facility of at least applying water tilak. Even if there is one dot of gopi chandan on our body is protected. Yamaraj can never touch our body. Even if there is one strand of tulasi, just one piece, one stick of tulasi that is there on our body, nothing can happen to us. Yamaraj will never touch a body that is decorated with tulasi or with gopi chandan. So Yamaraj cannot touch in the means, it doesn't mean that we have conquered death. Yes, death will come, but we are protected by the Lord, and Krishna takes personal care of us. We don't actually go to the abode of Yamaraj. So these two are very, very important. So we see that Dhruva Maharaj, when he was ready to go back to Godhead, not only did he decorate his body with ornaments because he was a great king and he was ready to go to the spiritual world, but he also made sure that his body was decorated with tilak. Because tilak is the most important thing. That is the greatest ornament of a devotee. So there are, I was reminded of one particular devotee who had left her body. She was a disciple of His Holiness Tamal Krishna Maharaj, and she knew exactly when she would be departing. She knew the time when she would be departing. She was an extremely advanced devotee. There's a book about her that is called Servant of Love. So this particular devotee, she knew when she was departing, from this world, and she consciously, actually, she was so particular about the kind of dress that she would be wearing when she was departing. So just think about this consciousness. So it is not that when Dhruva Maharaj is decorating himself with ornaments, at this point in time when he's trying to leave his body, that he's very materially attached to that gold or to the way he's looking. Actually, that's not true. Uh, this lady whom I'm talking about, this particular devotee, disciple of Tamal Krishna Maharaj, when she was about to leave her body, she made sure that she was dressed perfectly. So she had a particular style of a white colored sari that she decided to wear on that day. And she asked one of the other god sisters of hers to actually stitch a blouse in a particular way. And she had so many specifications preparing for her death. So one would be surprised, why would someone prepare like this for one's death, especially about the sari and the blouse and all that? Do all these matter? Or one may think, is it so important to dress so perfectly when you're trying to leave your body? So when the god sister of this devotee who was about to leave her body was, she was asked to stitch a blouse in a particular fashion with particular colors and make so many specifications. She was actually surprised, and this devotee who was leaving her body, she explained that she wanted to be received personally by Srimati Radharani, and she wanted to offer herself to Srimati Radharani in a particular way. So, hence, for the sake of the deity, for the sake of Srimati Radharani, for the sake of Krishna, for the sake of going back to Goloka Vrindavan, she wanted to present herself in the best way possible. So, this Mataji, she was not after opulence, but rather her consciousness was so absorbed in how Radharani had to receive her, how Radharani would embrace her, how Radharani would receive her, and how she must be so neat and presentable to Radha. And of course, she left her body in a very glorious way with her Gurudev chanting for her. And this incident happened several years ago. She was one of the disciples of Tamal Krishna Maharaj, who was so advanced. She was just like Bhishma Dev. She knew very well the time of her departure. Bhishma Dev had this boon that he could depart when he wanted, and he had Lord Krishna stay next to him when he was leaving his body. So that's a great boon, actually, to have the Supreme Lord present in front of you when you're leaving your body. who else can be more fortunate? So like that, similarly, this Mataji, she knew exactly when she would be leaving. She decided to leave during a Brahma Muhurta, and she had her Gurudev, chanting, and so many devotees around her, and she left her body so gloriously. She saw Srimati Radharani personally when she was leaving her body, and she was perfectly dressed the way she wanted to be received in Goloka. So like that, there are people, advanced devotees, even at the time of leaving their body, they are so fixed in their consciousness. And whatever they do, it may appear that, okay, why is Dhruva Maharaj giving so much importance to dressing up at this point in time? But then his consciousness was so absorbed and he was so fixed in the goal that he wanted to do everything for the pleasure of the Lord. So oftentimes we all hear this idea of Yukta Vairagya. It's so terribly misused in these days that we just acquire something for our own pleasure and we say this is Yukta Vairagya. We are using it in Krishna's service. So it's not, great devotees are not like that. They don't just acquire things for actually their enjoyment and they say that it is for Krishna's service. But rather, great devotees like Dhruva Maharaj, whatever they did, they actually did it for Krishna's service. Even their decoration or whatever they did, it was ultimately for Krishna's service, and they did it with that consciousness. So, like that, Dhruva Maharaj, he got ready, and he was completely humble. He was extremely humble. He understood that the people around in Badrikashram, they were very advanced sages, and he didn't think himself very special because he was going back to the spiritual world fast, earlier than these sages. He offered his obeisances, and in complete humility, he ascended this particular airplane, which was brought by these two associates, Nanda and Sunanda, who also happened to be the doorkeepers of Vaikuntha. So Vaikuntha, it's not that only Jaya Vijaya were doorkeepers. We see that in Vaikuntha there are different doors, like the east door, west door, north door, south door, like that. We see that there are in different directions. Actually, there are different guards who stand in Vaikuntha, and these two guards, Nanda Sunanda, they were also positioned in one particular direction of the entrance of Vaikuntha. So these two associates, imagine the doorkeepers themselves, they came down personally to receive Dhruva Maharaj and take him to Dhruvaloka, which is actually which is situated near the ocean of milk in this particular universe. It's also known as the pole star today. So they were ready to take him in the airplane. There is actually a very beautiful painting of Dhruva Maharaj ascending this airplane with the two associates, Vaikuntha associates. You can see these two Vaikuntha associates having four arms, bluish complexion. They look very similar to to Lord Vishnu. They have all the features very similar to Lord Vishnu, except for two things that are very unique only to Vishnu. One is the Kaustubha jewel, and other is the Srivatsa mark. Srivatsa mark because Srivatsa is the sitting place of the goddess of fortune, and Lakshmi Devi is the consort of the Supreme Lord. She doesn't become anyone's consort in the sense that she only belongs to Krishna, Vishnu, Narayana. So therefore, Srivatsa is not seen on anyone else except the Supreme Lord. And the other thing that is seen only on the Supreme Lord is the Kaustubha jewel. Kaustubha jewel because it represents the collective jivas, the Kaustubha mani that the Lord wears. It is a representation of the collective jivas of the world. So all the jivas are actually they belong to the Lord, just like how Lakshmi Devi solely belongs only to the Lord. Similarly, all the jivas, we are all actually the Shakti of the Lord. That is the Shakti. So we all belong to the Lord. We are all His servants. Therefore, only the Lord wears the Kaustubha jewel. It is a representation of the collective jivas according to the 11th canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. So, anyway, so except these two marks on the body, the rest of the features that these two associates, Nanda Sunanda, had were exactly exactly like that of Vishnu, the similar forearm form, the dark complexion. They were decorated gorgeously. They were looking so beautiful, lotus petal eyes. And they came, they received Dhruva Maharaj very lovingly. Dhruva Maharaj, we saw in our previous verse, that he stepped up on death and he uh, ascended the airplane. So, and we saw the beautiful story of Ladini Mataji as well yesterday. So anyway, so Dhruva Maharaj, he stepped on death, he got ready, and he ascended this airplane, and he was ready to take off to Dhruvaloka. So Dhruva Maharaj stays there till the end of the life of Brahma, and he went back to the spiritual world. So we'll stop here. Sorry for this class. I just spoke what came to my mind. And anyone has any realizations for this verse, please feel free to share. We can have a discussion. Any nice realizations that comes to your mind, you can feel free to share now. Hare Krishna. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Thank you so much. Very beautifully you explain, Mataji. So I request Kaumudaki Mataji, can you speak some few words about these words or something else you want to say? Hare Krishna Mataji.
Kaumudaki Mataji, you may want to unmute yourself.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances. All grace to all the devotees, and especially Preethivilasini Mataji. Very wonderful class, very wonderful narration you have said. This is sometimes I think some may have question that Dhruv Maharaj, he was, yeah, okay, no, never mind. I don't know why it came to me. The way he was in forest when 5 years old and he didn't have all those ornaments. He had went to take the, do the perform austerities. But it's very wonderful to see that how devotional service cannot be checked. Let me turn this off. Hare Krishna. It cannot be checked and can be like Goswami says, what is it? Apratihata, and I forgot the other word anyway. So this continues. Huh? Yeah, apratihata. And what's the another word, Prabhuji?
Ahituki Mataji?
Ahituki, yes. Ahituki, apratihata. So ahituki means there is no other desire other than pleasing the Lord. That's only goal, that's only motive to perform devotional service. And doesn't matter what happens, devotional service cannot be checked by anything. Any material situation cannot be checked. And spiritual, of course, is not going to check. So that's why apratihata or haituki apratihata. So Dhruva Maharaj has shown this by his personal example that even when he was little, he had a desire, but he's being Mahabharata, so he's like playing the role of an example, setting the example for others to follow, and like who has material desires, and they can be still worship. In the Bhagavatam it says, Sarva Akama Sarva Kamava Moksha Kama Udaradi Tivrena Bhakti Yogena Yajita Purusam Param. So one doesn't have any desire, one has all kind of material desire, but still they should worship the Supreme Lord Krishna. should not go to any demigods or anyone, any other persons, because it's not going to be purifying. Because like Dhruva Maharaj had this greatest desire, very difficult to obtain, but he went to, by the instruction of Narad Muni, who was his spiritual master, he gave him the guidance how to do it, to perform the austerities, and he did it at 5. Even though at the age of 5, he did all this. And it's very amazing to see the 5-year-old child doesn't want to do anything other than just playing. So doesn't want to even eat like that. So he has performed this discipline at 5, at the age of 5, and he has had a darshan of the Lord. And what he had a material desire, but when he saw the Lord, his desire was purified. So he didn't want anything. He said, Swamin Kitarthosmi Varam Nayasi. I am fully satisfied, my Lord, by having you, very valuable jewel. I was looking for pieces of glass, broken pieces of glass, but now I have a big darshan, like jewel, very valuable jewel. So that I don't want anything. Please don't give me anything. But he had a desire, so Krishna fulfilled it. He said, yes, you will do. All this will heard that how his brother Uttam, he will be killed in a fighting. And mother Suruchi, she will be also killed in the forest fire. And then there is no opponent, nothing. And very unrivaled kingdom he had. And he ruled the kingdom on earthly planet. And then when he was when it was time for him to go to the Dhruva, this Nanda and Sunanda of the Lord's associates, and they came to bring him back. So it's not that because he had material desire and he worshipped anyone else, but he worshipped the Supreme Lord. And he attained the Supreme Lord's abode and Supreme Lord's associates and serving the Lord. So this is a very perfect example for all of us in the material world to see how one can perfect the life and go back to serving his eternal position as a servant of Krishna, servant of the Lord. So in whichever position we have forgotten, because we left the Lord. We left our service to Lord in the spiritual world and came here to enjoy separately from Krishna. But then this is a place of misery. Krishna says Dukhalayam or Shashvatam. This is a temporary or Shashvatam, and it's full of misery. So then here we can understand that it's all misery. But then if we don't get the mercy of the devotee, by some chance, by Krishna's mercy, we get the mercy of the devotee, and they show us how we can uplift ourselves and become happy by serving Krishna. So in this case, Dhruva Maharaj had Narad Muni, who is a Bhakta incarnation, Bhakta, pure devotee. And Prabhupada also mentions that he is a liberated spaceman. So, and the association and guidance from Narad Muni, Dhruva Maharaj attained. And even though having a material, very difficult to fulfill material desire, became fulfilled by the Lord. Lord can do that. Nobody else can do it. So, and this is done. So, and now is when his time to go. He also shows how exemplary activities, as Preethivilasini Mataji also described all this. So, and then he boards the plane, stepping, is death personified as a stepping stone, and goes onto the plane. So, and he also was wondering about his mother. I don't know if I think we already have read or something, but anyway, so then this Nanda Sunanda, they say, they could understand what Dhruv Maharaj is thinking. So they say, your mother is going, because just before him, she's already on her way to her destination. So then only he became free from all the miseries and birth of death and attained the Lord's abode. His mother, who guided him in the beginning and encouraged him to go find the Krishna, to find the Lord. So she because she is showing the way, so she goes before the Dhruv Maharaj goes. It also, like previously I have heard one devotee, who was saying that if you become pure devotee, then although I am not pure, and maybe I will not be pure, but still I will be going, and I'm just following you or before you, because you will be pushing me up. I said, oh, that would be, but then this is what we can see the example. In Dhruv Maharaj's mother's case, she showed the way. So before even Dhruv Maharaj goes, she has already started her journey backward. Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity to purify myself. All glories to all the devotees. If you have if I have done any mistake on whatever, please let me know. And if you have any question from what I ever heard and spoke, then we can try to answer. Preethivilasini Mataji, and if I can do, I will do. Thank you very much, everyone. Hare Krishna. Everyone means every devotees.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Thank you, Kaumudiki Mataji.
Thank you. All glories to all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada. Everybody have any question?
Hare Krishna Mataji, thank you so much. Nice to hear from you, Mataji. I wanted you to give class, and this is what happens. Like, Prabhuji didn't come today, and got the chance to hear from you, Mataji. Very nice realizing, Mataji. Thank you so much.
Always you, all the people are very, very kind to me. Thank you very much. I don't know how I can repay. I'm very, very completely indebted to all of you. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Anyone else would like to share their realizations?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Mataji, no realization, but a comment on Preethivilasini Mataji and Kaumudiki Mataji's class. So nice, Mataji. Preethivilasini Mataji, you giving so nice realization, especially that Kastava Joel and Srivasta. I didn't know that Kastava Joel is it meant for the Jiva. Didn't know, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, for sharing. Also, and you were telling about your sharing the pastime about Krishna Maharaj's disciple. I think her name is Kritita Sundari Mataji. Yeah, her name is Kirtida Devidasi. Kirtida Devidasi. Yes. She specifically wanted a particular white color blouse and sari to be stitched with particular, she had so many specifications, and when I heard this for the first time from the god sister who actually stitched these clothes for her, she was telling me that actually everyone was surprised. Why so much? Why is she so particular? But then she explained, no, Srimati Radharani is going to come and receive me at this time, and I have to be presentable to her, and this is how I have to be presented to Srimati Radharani. It's amazing how devotees, what revelation, I don't know, maybe that's how it was revealed to her. I don't know. So beautiful.
Yes, Mataji, I read that book about how her experience with Guru Maharaj, but that was that pastime which you share. It is not there, but that's why I was thinking maybe you got that.
Louder. Hare Krishna, please forgive me. Mataji, can you be little louder?
No. This pastime is that book is about Kritida Sundari. Mataji's book is there, but that with a particular pastime Mataji shared, that is not in that book. She got directly from God of our God.
Yeah. Her god sister Padaduli Mataji from Houston, she was the one who told me this.
Okay. And also in that book, Mataji's amazing book, means her dedication to her, even Guru Maharaj, Tamil Krishna Guru Maharaj, he was telling us he's advanced, he's more advanced than me, and then that after some time, even within 1 year, not within a 1 year, after that Maharaj left his body. Because they had so much of connection, even guru and disciple. Mataji was so dedicated first. Thank you, Mataji. Thanks. PowerPoint.
Yes, I read about her, but then this past time then Preethivilasini Mataji mentioned about her dressing. This isn't mentioned in there, so I didn't know that. It's very wonderful.
Yes, Mataji, that is not mentioned in the book. Thank you, Mataji.
And I have seen her every time when I went to Vrindavan. She's there, and she sits by the altar. There's a speaker, and she sits there and listens to class every single day.
Very well.
Hare Krishna Mataji, what is the name of that Mataji? And what is the name of Mataji who skipped the blouse?
Padaduli.
I'm sorry?
Padaduli.
Padaduli.
Okay. She's in New Vrindavan, right?
No, she's now in Houston.
Oh, okay.
Rasikendra Prabhu's wife.
Okay.
And Mataji, also this, I just have one realization how Prabhupada always mentioned the devotional service is not inactive, and then we will continue same thing after going the spiritual world, and then the Guru Maharaj was ready for that, Mataji was telling how he was putting Tilaka in all the 12 places. He was ready for the devotional service again. It's how wonderful. Even though we are practicing this devotional service, we will continue doing same thing in the spiritual world. And that is very wonderful, Mataji. I was just remembering that point when you were sharing.
Very well.
See, this is very nice, sometimes the speaker speaks and then everybody listens, and whoever has a question, they can ask a question or comment to that. And this is what's called Ishtagoshti. Among the devotees, they share their realizations and understanding. It's very, very wonderful process that Prabhupada has given us. Yeah. Thank you very much for all the devotees. I'm very fortunate that I have association.
Yes, Mataji, we all are very fortunate to get associations of nice devotees every day, Mataji. So this is a good way to get together every day. And any Prabhujis, they want to speak something, share their realization.
અંદર ખમણ છે એ બેને બનાવ્યા હતા
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Sundarananda Prabhuji, you want to say something?
Hare Krishna Mataji. Yeah, a couple of things. One comment, and I had a question also. One comment is that I appreciated this verse, especially Prabhupada's comments on Tilak. When I was reading a few months ago, this was inspiring for me to start putting Tilak in 12 places, not just one place on the forehead only. So that was a nice inspiration. That's when I feel inspired also that Bhagavatham has a direct effect on the practical level, like that when I was reading this few months ago. Was a comment. And the question I had was, always I heard that when we are putting tilak, that basically we are doing that because Krishna is in our heart and our body is a temple, so we are decorating the body like as if like temple. That's how I heard it. Yeah, but I'm reading now. Prabhupada says that the sentence I'll read: the 12 tilaka marks on the body are sufficient as auspicious decorations to purify the body. So that's the first time I connected with it, to purify the body also. So I don't know if anyone has any comments on how it purifies the body or anything. That will help me. Thank you.
Kamodaki Mataji, yeah.
I'm on mute, okay. So please forgive me, Prabhuji. I only heard the part of the question. Could you please repeat?
No problem, Mataji. Hare Krishna Mataji. I was just reading the sentence from Prabhupada's purport. Prabhupada is saying that by decorating the body 12 places with tilak, it purifies the body, like that Prabhupada is saying. So I just wanted to understand more about how it purifies the body, because in the past I heard that body is the temple of the Lord because Krishna is in our heart. So we are decorating the body as we decorate the temple, like that. And also the mantras we chant are purifying. That way I understood it. But I don't know, is there anything more to understand about how tilak purifies the body? If you have anything you can share, Mataji.
Okay. See, Lord is completely pure, 100% pure, Shuddha Sattva. There is not a tinge of any material mode. Even Sattva Guna is not there. Just a Shuddha Sattva, pure goodness. So when we have Lord is in heart, yes, but we don't realize that. But still, when we put this tilak on 12 places, mark our body in 12 places, so then we are chanting the name and we are putting this tilak. So name and Lord, they are non-different. So Lord is present in His name. So that's why when we put the tilak, then our body becomes purified also. And then we can approach to serve the Lord. Like when we have a deity, you have deities in home. So you do take a bath. take a shower, then put the tilak on after putting on, and then put the proper clothing and tilak, and then you serve then you also perform the achman, and then you serve the Lord. So this all the names of the Lord is completely pure. I'm sorry, it's the tips about my daughter. She's going, so she's saying something. Okay. So, Lord's name, we know that Krishna's name and Krishna, they are all Pinnatva Nama Namina. Nama means Krishna's name, and Nami is Krishna, and name, Krishna's name and Krishna, not different, they are the same. So that's how whenever we chant, we are becoming purified. Sometimes it does take longer time. It depends on how impure I am, so it will take longer for me. Like that. But some devotees are very not so much contamination. Then they, sorry, I don't know what I did. Can you hear?
Yes, Mataji, yeah. Makes sense.
Okay.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah, so this is what more can we have when we have Lord's name? There is nothing more is needed. Because name in Krishna, they are the same, completely spiritual. So that's how they become body purified. Otherwise, everybody takes bath and a shower, take bath, and then put on nice dresses and they decorate body very nicely. But if the tilaks are not there, then that body is not purified.
Yeah.
And that is the reason.
Got you, man. Thank you, Mataji. Yes.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you for the question. Nice question. Hare Krishna.
I had one more question. Like when Preethivilasini Mataji and also Komatik Mataji both were speaking, both I think touched on this one aspect, uninterrupted devotion service, and also Preethivilasini Mataji especially mentioned about how devotion service is happily performed. I heard so many times that devotion service is happily performed, and I even heard the comment like, if you're not feeling happy when doing devotion service, that means you're doing something wrong. Like that also I heard comments.
Yes.
So yeah, but at my stage currently, I'm not so happy performing everything. For example, it's very hard for me to get up in the early morning. I'm not getting up so happy when getting up in the morning, for example. So I always try to understand what does it mean and how I can get there like that. If any of you can share something, that will help me.
You are chanting 16 rounds?
Yes, Mataji, yeah.
Following the 4 regulative principles?
Yes, Mataji, yeah.
So how do you get the strength to do do this? It's very difficult to pick so many all the other people to observe this these vows of prohibition. No meat eating, no illicit sex, no gambling, no intoxication. They cannot do this. But you are able to do so, then you are getting the spiritual strength. But sometimes it takes a little longer also until we become pleased. But then this much you have achieved. You are chanting 16 rounds and you're following these 4 regulative principles. So it's not so easy thing that what you have achieved. So just keep on doing it and keep on going on performing this. And with do it like an offering to your Guru and Gauranga. This what you're performing on this devotional service, whatever you're doing. do the offer. It's an offering to them. And gradually it will become time. Sometimes it takes longer, sometimes some makes become faster because have not so much impurities. I mean, I have so much impurities, so it takes me longer. But some people they can go faster. So it's on an individual basis, according to our purification or impurities, how we can advance. But if we take the 100% with full focus, and yes, I want to please the Lord, and this is what I am doing. So all these activities like that. So that way it becomes gradually. You will also feel pleasure, like Krishna, in Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, is easily performed and sukham kartamayam. It's very, very pleasing and it's never destroyed. This devotion service, whatever we are doing. So we may do so many other things, but as that is finished, that whatever work or whatever we're doing, and that's it. There is no more. There is no more visual. That's what the material activities are. But this is all the spiritual. It has a permanent asset. It's a permanent asset, like a fixed deposit in the bank. You have money, you put in the fixed deposit. It stays there. But then when you withdraw it, it's gone. But this one is not like that. The spiritual asset is permanent. And that's how gradually we become 100% pure and go back to Krishna. Like Dhruva Maharaj, he had shown us how this in the Srimad Bhagavatam and so many other devotees, Prahlad Maharaj, there's so many examples. Bhishma Devi just, Mataji just mentioned, Kunti Devi, Pandava. I'm hearing myself. Okay, so we have to just keep on, be patient, and be enthusiastic to perform all these devotees, devotional service, but you are doing chanting and also you're reading also. So that way, that's the only way. We have to keep on doing it, performing. Then we feel happy. Sometimes we focus more on negative things of what we see in our life. And that's what makes us unhappy. But we have to see that how much, at least by seeing all these people around, how much we have been able to perform this by the mercy of the Vaishnavas and Gurus. So we should be thankful for that. And by what is it called, appreciation that the mercy of the Krishna and Vaishnavas and Guru Maharaj. So then that also purifying, and that will also we see become more and more humble and then perform more. Is it okay?
Yeah.
I don't know if maybe Preethivilasini Mataji can share some realization.
Thank you, Mataji.
Yeah, yes, Mataji, very, very beautiful, Mataji. I also wanted to add one thing that whatever you're doing, actually, if you're not happy, then why would you be continuing it, right? So you have taken up devotional service and you're an initiated devotee and you're attending Bhagavatam classes every day. You take so much pleasure in reading Srimad Bhagavatam that, you're getting so many realizations. That means you're doing it because you're happy about it, right? So without happiness, why would you want to continue it or why would you want to take it up again and again? So that itself is an indication that you're actually very happy and blissful, Prabhu. And yes, austerities in the path of devotional service is, it just comes, it's a package. So we also take up some austerities and that we can perfect, like how Mataji was saying, we can, work on it and evolve. But the underlying principle is that you're happy. That's why you are continuing devotional service and it's giving you a lot of relief from, in the sense, obviously you yourself are a testimonial that before Krishna consciousness and post Krishna consciousness, your life has become most blissful compared to your life before. So that itself means that devotional service is all happiness. I hope I was able to convey what I wanted to say.
Yes, Mati. Yeah, thank you so much, Mati. Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, looking at the big picture, not just one activity like getting up in the morning like that, and then also comparing myself before Krishna consciousness and now like that. Yeah, definitely helps, Mati. Thank you so much.
Mataji, just I was remembering one point from Nectar of Instruction also. Rupa Goswami was telling Jandis, when we have Jandis, when we take the sugar can juice, it will become bitter, in the beginning because we have more disease. But when the disease goes slowly and then we take the actual sugar can taste like that, maybe example is good for everyone. In the beginning, even it looked like it's medicine, even the sugar can is so sweet, but that sugar can become bitter in the beginning. That is the things.
Haribol. Yes, Mataji.
Yes, wonderful.
Thank you, Mati. Yeah.
So,
Anyone else wants to add anything?
Hare Krishna Mataji, if there is no question, comment, or any realization, you can end the call.
yes,
Yeah, thank you, Kamadaki Mataji and Preethivilasini Mataji. You made the session so wonderful, and you are always there for us. Thank you so much. Now we can end the call.
कृपासिन्धु पतितानां
वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः. अनंतकोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय, श्रीमद की जय, all वैष्णव वृंद की जय.
This session is no longer being recorded.